I was in Idaho and was gonna work my way over to Montana, but then I got the phone call about my Aunt Cindy's big surgery that she's about to have on her back. So my aunt's my best friend in the whole entire world. She's my favorite human. And of course, something that serious coming up where she's gonna have a month to a month and a half recovery. She's gonna be bedridden for 2 weeks. I obviously stopped my travels and start heading towards her. So I left Idaho, stayed in Utah for a little bit, and now I'm working my way down to Texas. And I wasn't really gonna film this trip all the way down there because, well, I'm trying to just hurry up and get there. But passing this area right here, I was like, oh my God, that is so beautiful and so unique looking. That is I don't even know if because it doesn't look like it's dry right now from this area, but down there when I was passing by, it looked dry. But that is a dry salt lake. But from here, it doesn't look like it's dry anymore. But over there, it looked dry. That makes sense. And I am in New Mexico right now, in the middle of nowhere, literally. I've been driving down this long stretch of road right there for about 40-45 minutes. Not another car in sight. It's kind of creepy. And then I saw that beautiful lake bed. And well, it is a historic marker right here talking about the lake bed. It says numerous salt ponds and lakes, of which Laguna del Perro is the largest, which I'm assuming is that over there. They occur in the lowest part of the Encina Basin, a closed depression between the Manzano Mountains to the west and the low hills to the east. The basin was filled by a 150-foot deep lake in the... Oh, I can't even say half these words. Back in the days, and native peoples have always mined salt here. Wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's really beautiful looking. I mean, I know it's hard for you guys to probably see. I'm gonna try to zoom in with my other camera. But it almost looks like a little ocean out there because it's blue. So, pretty cool. Yeah, there it is. I'm gonna get my other camera and zoom in. I guess what I'm gonna do, since this is a long road trip, is if I see anything interesting like that, I'm just gonna stop, pull over, and film it. 'Cause that was pretty cool. But I am heading to Texas, where my aunt lives, and we all know Texas is still hot right now with humidity. And well, my bus here, I do have air conditioner when I'm driving, but I do not have air conditioner when I'm stopped. When the bus is turned off, I have no AC. And it's still in the 90s and high 90s in Texas with high humidity right now. So I did have to get little cabins along the way because I cannot sleep in the bus, and my dog can definitely not sleep in the bus. And I didn't want to stay in hotels because I didn't trust leaving the bus parked in a hotel parking lot, because you do hear about break-ins in hotel parking lots. So my first stop in Texas is a KOA, and I did get a cabin at the KOA in Amarillo, Texas, just for one night. And then after that, my next stop is in Millsap, Texas, and I found a cabin off a hip camp. I think it's like a little RV campground place, and I got that for one night. And then after Millsap, I'll be at my aunt's house. So I should be in Texas today, actually. Well, I am. I'm going to be in Texas today, heading to the KOA right now. And to be quite honest with you, these little cabins, you got to do a lot of research, especially like using hip camp. And these cabins are cheaper than getting a hotel room in the first place. And I'm all about penny pinching for sure. So, driving through the rest of New Mexico and on this long deserted road, which is so creepy right now. And then in about 3 hours, I should be in good old Texas. Okay, I just stopped to take a little break. So, in the bus, there's no cruise control in this bus. So, I have to stop pretty much almost like every hour when I'm driving to take a bus, because my leg and my foot starts hurting. And I have to get out, stretch a little bit. So, I'm going to look into down there in Texas, look into maybe trying to find somewhere that installs cruise controls on vehicles, because I can just easily just go drop the bus off and then go back to the house to take care of Aunt Cindy and then go back and pick it up. I was told that it only cost a few $100s to get cruise control installed on your vehicle, because I really can't afford any expensive things on the bus right now. But I feel like this is something that I really need to get done, or I'm gonna really mess up my leg and my foot by driving like this. So, but anyways, where I just stopped at, I'm about 30 minutes away from the Texas state border, still in New Mexico. And it looks like this little town is like a little ghost town. It's really strange. Very strange. Like a lot of abandoned buildings just right off the interstate. So, let's drive through this little ghost town, I guess. Get back on the interstate. I'm so ready for this drive to be over with. I'm so ready to get to my aunt's house. This is such a long drive without cruise control. Well, good morning. So I have one last stop till I get to my Aunt Cindy's. But remember, I said I had to get cabins once I got closer to Texas and to Texas because it's still hot. And then Texas is also very humid. So one of those places that I had to get a cabin at was this cabin that I'm in right now. And well, I think I've mentioned tons before on my videos that I'm not a big fan of KOAs. But when you're going through when you're going through desolate parts of Texas, and there really isn't that much except for a KOA, I had to break down and get a cabin at this KOA in Amarillo. And I have to say, it was a ridiculous experience. So I called to book this cabin, called on the phone, and even told the lady on the phone, I was like, I'm in a school bus. I was like, so normally I would just sleep in my bus because that's my home on wheels. But due to weather, I needed to get a cabin. And she said, oh, okay. And so she booked this cabin for me. Thank God it was just for one night. But let me show you guys, and you guys could probably imagine how expensive KOA is. They're way overpriced. So this was way overpriced, and this was ridiculous because I come and check into the cabin, and well, it's one of the cabins that doesn't have a bathroom in it. So no toilet, no shower. So I was a little upset about that because if I'm going to get a cabin when I'm pretty self-contained in my bus, I better have the amenities in it. So then I notice there's the bed. There's the bunk beds. I noticed there's no bedding. No pillows, no sheets, no blankets, no nothing. So I called the front office and I said, okay, well, I understand that there's no bathroom in the cabin, which I wasn't told on the phone, but you guys don't provide bedding either. No, ma'am, we don't. I said, well, don't you think that should be something that you tell people when they're making a reservation for your expensive cabin for just a bed with a mattress on it and heat and AC? And she's like, I forget what she said, but she's like, I'm sorry, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, it's a good thing that I'm traveling in a bus and I have bedding and a pillow inside my bus, because if I was just a camper coming here on vacation in a car, checking into the cabin and wasn't told that there isn't bedding here, then I would have had this cabin with no bedding. And all she could do was just apologize. So I was a little upset because, you know, I'm only here for a night. I'm only in these cabins for one night. And preferably, I didn't want to have to lounge things out of my bus into the cabins for one night. And so last night, I had to take the bedding out of the bus, put it on the uncomfortable mattress that's here. And then to top it all off, there's a train track right beside the campground, right where the cabin is. And every 15 to 20 minutes, because I timed it for a while last night, every 15 to 20 minutes, a train comes by with the horn. So I didn't get a lot of sleep last night either. But anyways, this is what you get for KOAs now. They overcharge you for things, and so ridiculous. You know, every time I come to Texas, I always forget that there's more to this state than it just being a huge state with so many big cities in it. They actually have some beautiful areas in nature too. Right now I just pulled off at a lake called Lake McKenzie. So yeah, up north in Texas, like the northern area, they have the hill country up there. And who knew that in Texas was going to be the first place that I experienced my highest inclines. I just went up and down 2 10% inclines with the bus. So it was my first time experiencing 10% in the bus, not other vehicles. But I would have expected that over in the mountains of California, Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. That was crazy. But look at this. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. I made it to my last stop before I get to Aunt Cindy's house. And it's been a long day with me stopping at the state park, driving around the whole state park, filming it, exploring it, and then driving here. It's been a total of like 9 hours on the road driving. And so we all know what happened at the KOA. And then this place, I'll get out and show you guys in a minute. First thing I did was take a shower, so first thing I did when I got here. But anyways, the directions for this place, you had to go down this long dirt road that was about 2.5, 3 miles long, and it was a horrible dirt road. Like, there were so many potholes, like huge potholes, and I had to like just finagle my way through the potholes and everything. Like, so after driving for 9 hours today and then having to work my way around that dirt road, I was over the day. I just wanted to find the trailer and just relax. So I followed the directions that I was given and followed the GPS, and it takes me not to the place. And I found this place off of Hip Camp. So I'm messaging the people on Hip Camp, and I'm like, I'm lost. And then there's a phone number on Hip Camp, so I kept trying to call them, and they weren't answering the phone. And then she's like, oh, well, you were supposed to go right and not left. And I'm like, I did. And she's like, well, it should be right there. And then she sends me a picture of what the gate looks like to the property and everything. And I'm like looking, and I don't see anything. So then I'm like, I'm trying to call you. Can you give me a call? And she's like, I can't talk right now because I'm about to go out and play. But here's the address again. So I end up turning around, and I'm like, okay, maybe I just bypassed it or something. So I turn around. I still didn't see it. The directions were saying that I was there. The GPS said that. So then I'm sitting in front of somebody's house on this horrible dirt road. And then this lady comes out, and she's like, are you okay, hon? And I said, well, I'm trying to find this place right here. And I show her a picture of it. And she's like, oh, it's right down the road. She was like, if you want, I'll walk it, and you can just follow me. And so this nice lady is walking down the dirt road, and I'm just following her in the bus, and then finally I find the place. Mind you, now the pictures and everything of this trailer shows it in the middle of this big, huge green field, making it look like it's just all by itself and secluded in the middle of this field. No. So there's a trailer right beside me, and it looks like they live there. And then there is 3 trailers right in front of me, and one of them are just partying their butts off. I hope they're gonna quit because I have to go to bed tonight. I can, you know, the bass is going, everything. I hope it's not going on this right here because copyright issues. So I'm just over it. I can't wait to get to my aunt's house tomorrow. This is why, one of the reasons why I decide to camp on free land and free places in the middle of nowhere. Because it's like people don't have customer service anymore. You have to deal with hassles with these campgrounds and hip camps and all that. It's like, come on. I worked in the customer service industry my whole entire life. And when I get bad customer service from people, it irks me and irritates me because I gave great customer service for 30 years, 30 plus years. Exactly why I don't camp in campgrounds anymore. Exactly why. It's ridiculous. Time to go take an edible, relax, go to sleep, and just get on the road early tomorrow so I can get to my aunt's. She'll make me smile. I'll get great customer service at my aunt's house. Oh no, sit down. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Lay down. We're almost there. We're about to see her in a minute. We're almost there. Lay down. She's excited.